Hey, First United Methodist friends, it's Pastor Shannon here with our weekly update for October 10th. Well, this past Sunday, we began our 4-week series called Big Questions, where we are looking at some of the big questions that people often have about God, about faith, about the Bible. Our first question we explored was, does God give us more than we can handle? And this next Sunday, we're going to ask the question, did the devil make me do it? Which I hope will be a little bit of a lighthearted approach to who or what it is that we're talking about when we're talking about Satan or the devil. Well, as a lot of you know, I'm a big reader. I love to read. I'm usually reading 4 or 5 or 6 books at a time. And I always love to share with you what I'm reading, especially as I'm preparing and planning for different sermons and sermon series. So one book that I mentioned this past Sunday is the book Untangling Faith. It's by Neese. And this is kind of interesting. It's a daily devotional. I think it goes through several weeks, 6 or 7 weeks, and each day asks a different question. It's guided by the questions that Jesus himself asked in the Gospels. But I really like this. I think it's targeted or advertised to be a woman's daily devotional, but I think that men would get a lot out of it too. So this is what I've been reading for my daily devotional, especially going through the series as I've been preparing for the Big Question series, and now that we're in that series as well. 2 other books that are both really short books by my former pastor, Adam Hamilton, are the book Half-Truths, which I mentioned this past Sunday, and another book called Why. These are both really short, really easy reads. You could probably read them in just 1 or 2 settings, and you can find them on Amazon. But he has a really great way of asking those hard questions and then putting them in a way that is approachable and understandable. So I often give these kind of books as gifts to people. So if people have questions about God, if they're struggling with something difficult in their life, both of these would be great books to hand over to someone to say, hey, I know that you're struggling. Here's a book that might help you out. And then finally, one of the books, and I have a digital copy of it, a Kindle copy, but one book that I'm reading for this Sunday's sermon is The Devil Wears Nada. So it's a little bit of a humorous take on the saying The Devil Wears Prada, which is, a popular movie from a few years ago. So I just started that one a couple days ago, and I'm getting into it as I'm preparing for this Sunday's sermon. So any of those would be great reads if you're ever looking for something to read. I especially really like the Daily Devotional by Neese, and I'll be sure to link them below in the comments section. Couple quick reminders. This week, we would love if you could turn in your giving commitment for 2024 and also your servant commitment for 2024. That just helps us as a church, as leadership, to be able to plan ahead for the upcoming year. And as always, you can fill those out and bring in the hard copies to the church office, or you can fill them out online at esmethodist.com. Well, I think that's pretty much wraps it up for this week, but I hope you all have a good one. Go Chiefs, and I'll see you on Sunday.